Welcome back to NoobAquatics. My name is Matthew Stickney. Thanks again for coming. We hope you've enjoyed all of our videos. I just want to make sure I give a shout out to all my subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing. Keep them coming. The more subscribers we get and the more likes we get, the better that this channel will do. So today we are going to talk about creating a simple, very simple, do-it-yourself drip acclimator. Now I've used this drip acclimator in multiple videos, and I'm going to show you how to make one. It's very simple, and these are the things you'll need. You'll just need a simple heavy-duty cup. All right, could be a red Solo cup. It doesn't matter what kind. Anything that you think is heavy-duty. These ain't very heavy-duty, but a heavy-duty cup would be better. You'll need a valve. So this is an airline valve. You see here. This is to regulate the flow of water. I recommend some Teflon tape, something to poke a hole with, either a knife or a drill. I'm going to use the drill just because I have one. And then you're going to need some silicone, preferably 100% silicone. So I have a small thing of aquarium sealant here. So what this is used for, this is used for drip acclimating your fish. So if you have some really sensitive fish that you just can't plop and drop into an aquarium after temperature acclimating them, such as high quality shrimp, crystal shrimp, caridina shrimp of many different kinds. There's also even just any shrimp in general. So neocaridina shrimp are also very sensitive to change in water parameters, so drip acclimation is recommended. Now if you want to learn how to do drip acclimation or the plop and drop method, I will put that up above so you can click on that and learn how to do that as well. But today we are learning how to make the device to do the drip acclimation. So first off, you're going to take the cup and you're going to drill a small hole into the cup. You want to go really slow as to not, create a massive hole. See if that's the right size. If it's not, all right, so like I said, you're going to drill a starter hole. This starter hole here is not going to be the right size. Just drill a small hole. This is the one you'll use as a guide. And then you want to find the drill bit that works best for you. So find one that matches the size of your, your valve, your airline valve. All right, this looks like it'll work. You don't want it to be too much bigger than than what you need. Now, as you'll see, this is right at the bottom of the cup. You want to make sure that this fits perfectly. Okay, fits perfectly. There's two ways to do this. You can either put the drip underneath it like this. You can do it to the side, or you can do it on the top. I prefer the top just because I prefer the top. All right. Next step will be to use a little bit of Teflon tape. You're going to unscrew this completely. And right there on the threads, you're going to use some Teflon tape. This will help prevent any leakage above. Okay. That'll prevent any small drip leaks that are coming out of the top here, because this is meant for air and we are converting it into being used for water. So in order to do that, you need to seal it. Best way to seal it is with Teflon tape, I found. All right, so the next step here, all right, you need to make sure that this hole is sealed as well. So what I like to do, all right, is I'm going to take a little bit of this. I have that little plastic thing on, but I don't think I want that on there. I'm going to use my fingers for this, at least for this side here. I'm going to take a little bit of this. All right, and the side that's going in, I'm going to go ahead and put it on this. Right here. Wipe my finger clean. And then I'm going to shove it in. Now that'll seal, you know, right there next to it. The biggest thing to worry about is on the inside, so that's where this one comes in. You want to make sure it's sealed on both sides. All right. So you got this light seal here, and if you want, you can add a little bit more if you want. This doesn't have to be perfect, but I found that adding it to the outside and then putting it through, because the hole is almost exact, whenever you add the silicone on the inside here, then it works out pretty good. So I found that using a toothpick in this case right here will help if you can't reach everything on the inside. So be messed up if this thing squirted me right in the face, wouldn't it?
Pretty bad.
Alright, so I got some on there, and just like the outside here, I'm going to twist it. Twisting it will, what that does is that brings the silicone onto the plastic on the inside because it's not hardened yet. Then I'm going to use this, and I'm going to try to push it all over the edges and seal it even more, as much as possible. I feel like I'm doing surgery here. Okay. It's not going to be the prettiest, but we're going to make it to where it works. That's the only thing. Alright, so I need a little bit more, but on the inside here. And then I'm going to put it in on the other side. Now the main thing here is that when you're doing it, you do not seal the hole on the inside, otherwise you'll have to just start all over with a new valve. I actually did that with my first one, but I was able to get it out of there and seal it up a second time to make sure that, you know, it was fully sealed. Alrighty, so as you'll see here, can you see that on the inside? Now I got it sealed around, but the outside where the hole is at, it is completely, you know, open. Now, last thing but not least, this is the easiest part. The hardest part is getting the seal in there. Now you want to kind of add some more sealant to the outside here. And that's pretty much it. So that's how you get it set up there. Once it's dry, you want to make sure you let it sit for at least 24 to 48 hours. All right, so let it sit for 24 to 48 hours. Just to be safe, I'm going to let it sit for 2 days, and then we'll check it for leaks. But in the meantime, I'm going to show you what a finished product looks like. All right, so this is my original. This is my original design here. I did the same thing, you know, have a valve here. I actually didn't have this readily accessible at first, so I used tape right here. You'll see that right there doesn't work very good, so I made sure I sealed it, and you'll see if you look on the inside here, you'll see the silicone. I don't know if you can see that in there, but this one here is a little different. I have a piece of rubber tubing on the inside right there. There's a piece of rubber tubing. So because I drilled a hole that was way too big. So I've learned from my original mistake, and that's what this is here. So we're going to let this dry. We'll test it out, and we'll see if it works as well as this one. This one works really well, but it's just not quite what I wanted. This is the design of what I wanted. I wanted the hole all the way at the bottom of the drip acclimator. This one quite isn't. If you look, it's all the way up here at the top. So there's all this water that stays in the bottom. The further down you get, the better. And then, of course, as best as you can do, try to make sure you seal it off both on the inside and the outside without sealing the hole. Now, the tubing on the inside that I used here can work. If you do the tubing on the inside and you get it right at the bottom and you put it through, that would work just fine. Just make sure you still seal it on the inside and the outside, and that'll give you a little bit more room to mess with on the inside. So yeah, let's let this sit for 48 hours, and then we'll come back and we'll test it, and we'll finalize our do-it-yourself project. See you in 48 hours. All right, so now it's been 48 hours. You want to make sure you check the sealant, make sure it is hardened up. All right, make sure on both sides that it's hard. And then what you'll do is you'll get yourself a glass of water. It doesn't have to be tank water, just any water. Well, all you got to do is after 48 hours, you got to test it to make sure it doesn't leak. All right. And whenever you do the drip acclimation, you're going to do something similar to what we got here on the table. So you'll have this sitting up high, so elevated like this, and then you'll have a container down here, such as a Tupperware or something bigger, that you have your shrimp or sensitive fish in. It may even be a little bit taller depending on how they jump out, but if they jump or not. But what you'll do is you'll put this here. You're going to unscrew this to where it starts to drip. And then all you do is take some tank water. You're going to pour the water in. Now the goal here is to see if that it drips. So at this moment you'll see that the drip is really slow. Alright, so all you got to do is just undo this, and you see you can make it even faster. This is where drip acclimation, works really well. And that's why I use these air valves, is because you can control the drip a lot better than with those tubes. So this is where I would normally keep it if I was drip acclimating shrimp. It's about 2 drips for every second. And that'll take roughly about 15 to 20 minutes, maybe less, depending on how much gravity you have up there above it. But it'll go and drip. But the main thing about this is to test to make sure it's not leaking out of the bottom, which it's not, and not leaking out of the seal right here where we put the Teflon tape. So yeah. Alright, so yeah, it's a good seal. I don't see any leaking. I don't feel any water. Looking like it's working pretty good. And you can just leave it there, which is what I normally do, is leave it at the same. I'm going to pour the water back into here. Alright, and that is your easy do-it-yourself homemade drip acclimator. Much cheaper than spending $5 to $15 on Amazon. These plastic cups, you can get hundreds of them, for like $5. So if you want to spend $5, spend $5 on 100 or more reusable plastic cups. So yeah, that's what we got. Well, thank you so much for coming to NoobAquatics. If you enjoyed this video, and if this video helped you out in creating your very own drip acclimator for your sensitive species here in the freshwater hobby, then make sure you subscribe and like and come back again. Thanks for coming to NoobAquatics. Have a great day.